This is a white buffalo temple ring. I've been making this ring for about 10 years now, and I've probably made more of these than any other ring design. The problem is I don't come across white buffalo of this quality very often. I was, however, able to get my hands on some, so let's make one. This ring is made up of 3 main parts: the stone casing, the shank, and the shell. Once I've selected my stone, I start with my casing. First, the bezel. Every stone has a slight size variation as they're hand cut, so there is no one-size-fits-all approach. They have to be made to the size and shape of each stone. Once I've made my bezel to size, I start on the base. I have to leave a little overhang from the bezel to fit the twist wire I will attach next. Sometimes you don't need extra solder, you just need to direct your heat properly for the solder to flow all the way around. Now that the base and bezel are finished, I begin to rough shape my twist wire border. This can be tricky at first, but after a while you get the hang of it. I make sure to file both sides of the wire flat so that they're flush. This makes soldering much easier. If I've measured correctly, I can fit it snug over the bezel and attach it right away. So long as there's contact to the base all the way around, the solder should have no problem flowing. Now, ideally, you let the piece soak in the pickle for a bit to clean it up, but if you're impatient like me, you just keep going. You can use either tin snips or a jeweler's saw for this, but whichever you use, you have to be careful not to damage the twist wire border. Once it's cut, I can do the detail work with a file. Now that the casing is finished, I can begin on the shank. These are cut from a thick sheet silver so that I can customize the dimensions. I'll use my dusty micrometer to get the measurements just how I want, and then cut it out. Cutting it out like this means that I'll have jagged edges that aren't too comfortable for wear, so I'll file them down to a dull corner. For this design, I'll need to split the shank. I mark the middle lines that will be cut and take it over the anvil for some stamping. After stamping, I get back to cutting. While these will be hidden behind the shells in the final step, they will add a layer of stability and comfort. Once we've done our cuts, we'll need to soften the metal through a process called annealing. I just heat the shank to a certain temperature and then quench it in the water. This will make the metal more malleable. After the detail work, We form the shank to size around a mandrel and fine-tune the shape so that all 4 prongs sit level and straight. Now that we've finished the shank, we need to make the shells that will attach to each side of the ring. For these, I'll use a slightly thinner gauge silver, one that's not too heavy, but still maintains sturdiness. I scribed the lines to create a guide that my shape will form from. Over the years, I've dialed in the dimensions just right. After I've cut one, I use it as my overlay template for the second one so that they match. Then, more detail work to soften the edges. Now that we've got 2 broad forms, we need to add our design to them, so I scribe my stamping lines. After our lines are stamped, we add another layer of finer detail work. In preparation for the final form of these shells, I anneal them. I use a dapping block to dome each side thoroughly. This is what helps the sides to form around the stone in the final assembly. Now that all 3 elements are created, it's time to put them all together. First, we attach the shank to the stone casing. It's critical that it's straight and even, otherwise the shells won't line up properly. I check to make sure we got it right before quenching, in case I need to make any quick adjustments. Now that we have the frame, we can attach the sides. This part can be tricky as they don't always want to sit still. Gravity is your friend here. I only solder the bottoms at this stage. I often have to make subtle adjustments here before I get things locked in. On one side, I made a little mess of the solder, but that can be cleaned up in the finishing stage. Now that the shells are attached, I go back to reinforce each corner for added stability. After letting it sit in the pickle for a bit, I bring it over to the buffer for finishing. I first use a fiber wheel. If you're not careful, you can take off too much character. I just want to clean up the surfaces and dull the edges. Now we're ready for the oxidization. This adds a dark patina that will live in the recesses of the piece. I use a solution that's prepared and ready for dunking. After the patina is put on, I need to neutralize it in baking soda water. After it's fully dried, I start with a steel wool. This takes off the surface patina and reveals the dark recesses and gives me a rough starting point for our final finish. For this, I use a standard buffing wheel in compound. I prefer this design best with a shine, and this does a good job of that. From first cut to the final polish, I hope you enjoyed the process of making this white buffalo temple ring. If you'd like to join us on our journey of preserving tradition, please like and subscribe. It's one of the best ways to support the work that goes into these videos and lets us know to keep making them. Also, if you want to get your hands on one of these, this ring is a part of a limited release alongside 6 others. See the full collection over at thecommon.co before they're gone.